I'm back. Road Rants on Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel 2 has a writer, and it's not Kelly D. DeCronic. Thank God. Okay, so that story has been debunked. However, there's another side of this. You might be thinking, oh, well, Captain Marvel's not going woke. Well, hold your horses on that, okay? Now, you know on my channel, I try to be as fair as I can. All right? I didn't like Brie Larson's comments last year, so I did not go see Captain Marvel at all. But when I got Disney Plus, I watched it, and it was surprisingly pretty good. Okay? Pretty good. We're talking a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. All right? And that's being fair. Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson were great in it. And honestly, much more of a middle-of-the-pack Marvel movie than you would expect. There's definitely worse Marvel movies out there, without a doubt. Now, yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter comes out and says that they've locked in Megan McDonnell. Madonnell? Really? Okay. A staff writer on the Marvel-based series WandaVision to pen a script for Captain Marvel 2. All right? Sources say Anna Bolden and Ryan Fleck, who co-wrote and directed the initial hit, will not return. But they are in talks to do something in the Marvel Universe or direct a Disney Plus series. They're hoping Captain Marvel 2 is eyeing a 2022 release. Okay, so what's my take? All right. It should be noted, Marvel is hoping to find a female filmmaker, a female director. All right. This is where I have the issue. All right. And this is what's going on in Hollywood right now. Instead of finding the best candidates to direct the movie, they're worried about finding a female candidate. Now, something I want to point out in everything that's going on in Hollywood, a lot of this has to do with our guy that's leading the charge up in office right now, okay? They're trying to make a statement. But there's another side of this too. I worked 10, almost 12 years in the corporate world. I managed for about 10 years of that. Team manager, operations manager. Even in rural East Texas, we would have these daily forecasting, statistics, trending meetings. And all the big people were involved. Site directors, operations managers, HR manager, et cetera, okay? This is a little peek behind the curtain. And as we were eyeing staffing based on volume or possibly getting a new contract and putting that staffing together, we would start pooling candidates for management. Probably who's going to be our next team manager. Who could be our next quality people as well, you know. Who could be possibly take a step up to be trainer. And what I will tell you is, you would have all of us throwing out our candidates, and then the human resources manager would step in and be like, look, guys, you do realize we have to have more African American managers and more female managers than you have given me candidates for. And we would all be like, wait, what? And she would be like, yeah. And point of fact, highly conservative HR managers, okay? But why was that happening? She would just come out and say, guys, you understand you run the risk of us having a lawsuit by looking like we don't have enough African Americans are females in members of management. If I heard it once, I heard it 50 times over 10 years. Okay? So, the problem, is the problem Disney? But the problem's corporate America as well. Because once I got out of corporate and started going to work for more independent entities after the fact, I went to work for a telecom company and independently owned. This shit never got brought up, ever. Okay? Which was actually sort of stunning for me because I had been trained most of my adult life at that point. I mean, I went to work corporate at 22 and left at 34. I was like, whoa, y'all aren't even talking about this stuff. Whereas 3 previous companies I had worked with, this was a topic of conversation. Corporate companies, this was the topic of conversation many times. Hell, one of them even won an award for diversity, a national award, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Okay? And they were like, hell no, we don't do that corporate shit here. Okay? And honestly, I sort of struggled with that because I had been ingrained in my training my entire adult life. Hey, you have to manage against lawsuits in this business, okay? And honestly, those companies will eventually get sued, okay? Because independently owned legally are not supposed to be running any differently when it comes to hiring, but they do. Okay? So, for full disclosure, I don't like this. I don't like that this sort of thing has to keep coming up in meetings because you should be looking for the best candidate regardless of sex or race. And that's the problem. It's a problem with Disney, yes. It's a problem with the MCU, yes. But it's a problem all across corporate America right now. And they're not going to change because they don't want to get sued. That is the issue, is the fear of lawsuits based on being sexist or racist. Discriminatory lawsuits is the fear here. Okay? And woke Hollywood's even worse because they're trying to make a statement against you-know-who in office, and they're trying to be like, oh, we're supposed to be the leading examples of this shit to the rest of corporate America. All right? I can tell them right now, in independently owned business, you can cancel this shit because it don't happen. They look for the best candidate, period. All right? Period. That's it. It's over. So, now that I know that Kelly D. LaCronic, or whatever her name is not involved, look, I've got no problems with a female filmmaker. If they go get the filmmaker that did Wonder Woman, hey, I might, as long as Brie Larson don't start running her mouth again, I might actually check this out. But if she does, nope, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not. They won't get my money. I just won't go down that road again. I won't. They didn't get my money the first time, and that was Brie Larson's fault. It wasn't the movie's fault. It was Brie Larson's fault. Okay? So, there you go. Peace. I'm out. Till next